Okay, today we're going to try to do some work on the trails before the rain comes in. So I got my John Deere 3038E ready to go, I think. This part's called the box blade. Got it set fairly level front to back. Got the scarifiers, which are these digging tools, down just one. That seems to be work best with the rocks. Deeper is more aggressive, but then you get hung up on rocks. I've adjusted these silver things. Those are called sway bar tensioners. And in my first attempt on the tractor, they were way too loose. The sway bars were running into the tires, not a good situation. And the implement was jumping all over the place. You don't want them too tight, I don't think, with all the rocks that got in the ground here. But I tightened them up pretty good. And we're ready to go. Okay, here's one example. The path I've been taking my UTV in, go dump the leaves on a pile away from the buildings. It's a little tippy side to side, and new riders and my dog get a little nervous when we go down there. I'm okay, but thought I'd try to even it out, turn it into more of a walking path and UTV path. That's what it looks like right now. Give it a try. By the way, this lever to my right controls how far down the box blade in the back goes. I've got it set at 4. You see how that works, and then once you get a depth that you like, you can leave it at that and just make multiple passes to get everything evened out. Alright, just a view going forward. Not too interesting, but take a look at the back. See, the box blade is digging up some dirt as we go. Okay, that's one pass with the box blade set at 4. A couple more passes, and that actually might look like a walking path. I didn't show you this before, but I got a low spot here in the area just leading up to the path we're working on. And what you can do is when the box blade gets all full of dirt, you come over here, lift up the box blade, and it'll dump it out and start filling that area in, smooth that part out too. Drive over it a few times to compact it and see how that works. Okay, I've done 4 passes on this little loop. Starting to look more like a trail. A couple things, I've done 2 each direction. There's a little uphill slope on the other side of that tree. It goes a little harder going uphill, so I think I'll keep going downhill. But it's starting to look like a path. One little snag is a box blade, because I'm doing it in the weeds here. It's kind of backed up here. I'll just punch that out. Should be super easy, like so. And we'll be back and doing it. A few more passes. Should have a trail. This is after about 8 passes. Looking much more like a trail now. Not sure how long I'll keep going. A little bit longer. The one thing that was kind of funny, I noticed a groove coming back on this return. Big groove in the soil. Those of you who've done this before can probably guess. I snagged a big rock and it was working like a pencil or something, digging a big groove behind me. I'll add that rock to the collection. You see I've got quite a bunch of fill here. Fill in this low spot. I'll do that next. Okay, honestly lost count how many passes I went around this thing. Probably about 20 or so. Really hasn't taken more than an hour or so, this part. I'm really pretty happy with how it turned out. By the way, I don't do this lightly. I do appreciate the natural beauty of the land. Trying to make it a little more safe and enjoyable. Also might serve as a little bit of a fire break when we get to fire seasons, and definitely make rattlesnakes easier to spot when we get to snake season, only a month or so away. So overall safer, not too intrusive, and happy with how it came out, except still have this mess at the end. So there's several techniques you can do to move the earth around and flatten it out. You can use the front end loader like a plow. I'll do some of that. Also, there's a technique where you tilt the bucket down and go backwards. It's called back dragging. That actually works really good. Probably be doing most of it that way. You can also use the box blade, smooth over it, and you can even go in reverse to push earth backwards. Probably do some of that too. And then driving over it will help also. And plus, I never got to have a monster truck growing up, so probably as close as I get with big old tires. But seriously, rather than just playing monster truck, it'll help compact it, so it'll make it safer to drive over, either with the tractor, the UTV, or who knows. PG&E may need to get out here and look at after their pole, so try to make it safe and stable with those methods. I'll let you know which one worked best. So here's an example of the back dragging I was talking about. You get the blade tilted down on the front end loader, put it down pretty close to the earth, and then you drive the tractor backwards. You can see it's spreading the earth. Got closer to where I wanted it. It's not perfect yet, obviously, but that's a pretty good method. Okay, this is about halfway done. I'm really not an expert at any of this. I should have mentioned I only got about 45 hours on this tractor, only less than a year. So I'm learning as I go. Appreciate any suggestions from anybody who's got more experience or sees something I'm doing wrong. Also, despite what I said about PG&E and their pole, I know this isn't a stable road bed just yet. It'll take a lot of driving over and settling before that happens. But I was using a combination of the box blade, dragging it forward, and then back dragging with the front end loader. And pretty happy so far. Try to get, it's not going to get perfect, but get it better. By the way, I didn't mention it, but this was the critical point right here. Everything up to this right here is pretty much like a road. This was a pretty steep gully, and it would be the moment where my guests, if I try to show them the property, take them off-road, they start wishing they were back in the house. So anyway, I know some of my guests will appreciate it if they're willing to get back on the UTV again and enjoy the flatter roads. Okay, this is by far no means perfect, but it's definitely much better than it used to be. Big old gully you have to go through, and rock side by side on the gully. I was okay with it, but like I said, my guests weren't. It's hard to know when to stop on some of these. You get to some diminishing returns, you get closer to lunch. That's usually my benchmark. I'll try getting the dog and doing a dog approved test, but before I do, these are the rocks I pulled out in the last 2 hours. Not even trying. I'll add those to the collection. I'm sure I'll use them somewhere. We've got some rock walls planned and in progress on the property. Okay, this is the UTV I've been talking about. It's a 2022 Tracker EV, so it's electric. It's got 72 volts, a lot of power. Oh, by the way, this is the dog, Bella. You're a good dog, Belly. I've added this aftermarket front rack, which I'm really happy with. I should do a review of both these things. But yeah, not so much for gas savings, but I was really worried about starting a fire when it gets fire season out here. And the EV I figured would be a lot safer. So yeah, it's been a workhorse. I love it. And we're gonna go for a ride. Okay, here's the first person view in little EV, the little electric vehicle. Get it? Nice and quiet. Path. Whoa, hang on, Bella. All right, I'll slow down. Dump the leaves, carry on with the business. Walk down, see the creek if we want. Come back around, not even get scared. Right, Bella? You're good. Hey, Bella, you're good, right?
1, 2, 3.
Okay, this is the road test with the dog. She doesn't look nervous at all, does she? Wife's been around once and she approves. I think the dog Bella. Nobody died. Really happy with that project. Took about 2 hours. We got it done just in time before the rain starts. Anyway, see you next time.